What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody in the house. By the way, Doody is streaming, and we got some breaking news. That's right, we got some breaking news during the podcast. We got a nice visitor that came by the podcast today. Darziak, yes, the Dragon Man himself from Europe, from England, has decided to fly over to Florida and stop by and chill. he chilled on the Meaningful Podcast. And the man, the myth, the legend actually did some breaking news on my stream. That's right. Now, if you're wondering exactly what Doody's talking about, we need to go all the way back to the Joon the King documentary. During the Joon the King documentary, of course, Joon the King actually talked with a few Phil supporters. And one of them was a bit critical of him, where he was curious, he was wondering about Phil, and he thought maybe Phil had autism. He said, I think he has autism. And of course, there were some other things that he talked about there, right? And people thought, okay, who is this person? Is there a LARPer? Who exactly is this hidden secret person that's talking here? Matter of fact, you know what? Let us go to Joon the King. Go to the documentary. Hold on, Joon the King. Am I spelling that? Let's see if we can find that quick segment so we can show people. Wow, it's number one.
Described as a fruit.
All right, so let's see here. Troy. Can you not new relationship? The meme. Janice Hara. Let's see if we can find it. The Vest Streak. VTubers. Wants a good image. Is this it? Wants a good image? I think this is it.
It was found that in 8 hours, within 6 tweets,
guys tonight, and I got nothing out of it.
short screenshots, or even the bank leaks that could theoretically be faked, but the coordination and dedication would make these chances minuscule. Yet Phil gravitates more towards wild theories himself as a way to represent them and paint the attractive community poorly as a way to also dismiss the valid criticism. And this somewhat works with his fans who have been doxxed, are people with disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely.
Yeah. I think he has autism.
Alrighty, here it is, folks. Here it is. This is, I believe, the segment. And Darziak, can you confirm this is the segment? This is the segment, folks, where a fan, I guess, did reach out. He did reach out and spoke to Joon the King and decided to give his take on. He decided to give his take on Phil. And sure enough, this secret person was Darziak.
Short screenshots, or even the bank leaks that could theoretically be faked, but the coordination and dedication would make these chances minuscule. Yet Phil gravitates more towards wild theories himself as a way to represent them and paint the attractive community poorly as a way to also dismiss the valid criticism. And this somewhat works with his fans who have been doxxed, are people with disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely.
Yeah. I think he has autism.
Oh!
And this is coming from someone who has it. Because I've got a low level of autism.
You have a level of it.
Asperger's,
Oh, okay, Darziak.
Formerly called
I think we all do, brother.
And I think I told him because I've been following him for so long. I don't want to say he felt like a friend, but I felt like some kind of weird, like this is someone I've known. I don't really know, but this is someone I've known. The only person I really followed on YouTube for so long, and I felt some kind of attachment, like a buddy in a sense. And I thought, oh, my buddy's in trouble. I should help him out, you know.
These people exist within every creator's community, but with Phil, that's virtually his entire fanbase. Phil once did have a diverse viewer base, but as his infamy grew and his content stagnated, the only thing he offered is consistency. That really means nothing when levied against other content creators. But consistency to someone who is different is what keeps Phil online. To these people, Phil is very interactive. He is a friend. Or in just the perspective of his content, he is reliable and he is consistent. They have ingrained a habit of watching Phil's content into their daily lives for the past 15 years. The harassment and constant doxing by trolls does scare some of them away. But other times, it may strengthen their attachment to Phil. And attachment is a very strong thing, because when Phil says he is in need, they're willing.
Okay, so Darziak here is in the chat. Thank you, Darziak. I appreciate you breaking this on Doody stream. So Darziak said, the only thing that wasn't added was I told Joon the reason why I think he has it. Would you like to share, Darziak, that reason here? Would you like to break it on Doody streams? Would you like to tell us why specifically you thought Phil had autism? And why you think most of his viewers have autism? Mind you, this is Darziak, Phil's former editor, moderator, who I guess was a supporter of Phil, was a friend, I guess I would say. I'm not sure how it would classify it. But he was someone that worked with Phil quite a while, and he was solely responsible for the Throwback channel, and God knows what else. I'm not sure if he did thumbnails or what, but he was a big part of Phil's content. That's right. And here he's on Doody streams revealing the breaking news that he was he was the anonymous person on the Joon the King documentary. And I guess I never put it together. I never noticed that the person was had a British style accent. So I can see why some people thought it was Darziak. So we are waiting for Darziak to actually confirm this right here. Tell us the reason specifically why he told Joon the King. He told Joon the King why he thought Phil and his viewers were autistic. So here he is, folks. All right, Darziak here said, okay. He said it's the whole schedule and the solid structure. He consistently, oh, come on, well, stop being a detractor. Okay. It's the whole schedule and solid structure he constantly does. Notice how he panics when things break down away from him. Yeah, I mean, if you've heard any detractor content, pretty much that's the consensus around detractors, that they think he might have some tism because of the rigidness to his schedule. Yeah, completely, 100% agree with that. I do. I don't like to label him as having autism because I think that gives him an excuse for his shitty behavior. I think he's just an asshole. I really do think that. I think he's just a complete asshole. And because he's an asshole and he's damaged every relationship in his life, being the relationship with his spouse and so on, he has no friends. His wife, I'm positive his wife tells him, don't ever bring me up. Don't even say any shit about my business on your stream ever. So he really can't talk about anything. So the only thing he has for his podcast is gaming news, his schedule, and then his schedule. So, he has that rigidity, but I can kind of see the tism too. The OCD, where, he refuses to modify or change games on the fly because he blames his viewers, but it's him. It's him. He has a difficult with changing, shifting gears. Like his mindset was set to a point where it's like, okay, I'm going to play this game. And when someone throws a wrench in it, he has a meltdown. Yeah, he has a meltdown. It's why he had a fit the other day when his podcast was initially canceled. Then he rescheduled the podcast because the person couldn't come to his house, right? And then he had to drop the gameplay an hour early, and he had a little meltdown because shit didn't go his way. So I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I think he has tism. A lot of OCD behaviors. I'm not willing to say he has autism, because as you know, Doody has a child with autism, so I know, firsthand what that is, and how people struggle with that. I honestly think Phil's just an asshole. He's an asshole, and labeling him as autistic just kind of gives him an excuse for being an asshole, and I'm not about to do that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let him get away with that nonsense. So, Darziak, while we wrap up this video on the fly, do you have anything else to say? Do you have any breaking news, Darziak? Anything else, brother? Also for the record, here it is. Also for the record, I told him multiple times that Derich was bad for the business. Oh, here it is too. Bam. Thank you, Derich, for confirming this. Thank you, Derich. So, Darziak, thank you. I think I appreciate probably this more than anything. We have here Darziak. Now, this isn't some random dude. This isn't the Dutch brothers or whatever. This is Darziak, right? Darziak saying this. For the record, I told him multiple times that Derich was bad for the business before Kino pressured him. Boom. Exactly as the detractors have said. I have said this over and over again. I've said this over and over again. That people next to Phil have told him that Derich is bad. I've seen moderators in chat tell Phil in the chat, "Hey, do something about Derich." Simply for the fact that he was annoying other people in chat, he was spamming chat, he was harassing people that people didn't want to talk to him, and of course his behavior off stream, the Twitter. What did Phil decide to do? He decided to punish his viewers for bringing up Derich's proclivities and all of his actions outside of the stream. That's what he did. So instead of, looking at it and again, Darziak, you're not just some random dude. I'm pretty sure that he trusted you, giving him that he made you a managing moderator where you had access to his account. I'm pretty sure you probably had access to his OBS as well, right? Did you have access to his account or whatever? I'm assuming you did, being that you were uploading stuff or whatever. So, you know, that for someone who's so paranoid and doesn't trust anyone, it takes, you know, that you have to have built some trust with the guy to do that. Dude, I have 2 managing moderators, and I know these people for years. I wouldn't make anyone else managing moderators, because I know that, you know, you give them a good amount of power if you do that. So, he exported his OBS settings for me to adjust. Okay, so you would adjust it, send them back, and then would upload it. Okay, yeah, because I'll give you an example. I use Streamlabs. Streamlabs is all online, so I can log into anyone's computer, and anyone can log into my account and access my settings and do whatever. It's all online, so I didn't know if OBS was the same way. So anyway, folks, that's the breaking news. Before I cut this video, Darziak, is there anything else you would like to review between the relationship between you and DSP, brother? Because I'm telling you right now, I think I might want to interview you. If you would like to do an interview style interview with Doody, that would be great. I wouldn't mind bringing the dragon on to the to the That Being Said podcast for a segment. We could chat it up. Let me know. Nothing else I gotta add. Darziak, I appreciate you. I hope you know that, you know, during all this, I treated you well. Even before this, I was never, you know, malicious or anything. To me, people that help Phil, whatever, it is what it is. I try not to bother them or whatever. So, anyway, Darziak in the house. Everyone give a round of applause for Darziak.